Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2. Comeback complete. 3 points from Manchester United, a much needed 3 points after the worst possible start we could have had to the game. I'm joined by Dave Pritt and Dave Scott as well. I'll start with you, Dave. Just your overall thoughts on that game, because that was wild, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had a lot in it. The start of the game, the end of the game, you probably think, we want a really great game. But we dominated for probably 80% of that game, and we looked really good. Probably one of our best performances for a while. I just think we attacked a little bit more, had a few more shots. We could have scored quite a few more goals, I think. Because especially that first half, the keeper was dropping all sorts. But we never seemed to go on that, and I don't understand why. But all in all, I'm obviously happy with the result, happy with the performance, apart from the very end where they were down to 10 men and somehow they were still getting in. But all in all, I thought good game. Had everything.
Yeah, it was a bizarre one, wasn't it? Because it's the sort of game that you look at it on paper, and you look at it, even if you just sort of followed the game without watching it, you could easily think that it was a horrendous performance from United, where 2-0 down after 5 minutes. And admittedly, it was horrendous for the first goal, especially. The second goal, a lot of luck that just hit Willy Bolly in the head and went in. But actually, I thought watching the game, United were comfortably the better team for, how many minutes were there in total? 103 or something? I thought for 90 of those minutes or 80 of those minutes, United were definitely the better team. And we'll get into some stats in a minute. But strangely, it was probably our best performance of the season, that wasn't it? Even though we were 2-0 down after 5 minutes.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, it was a disastrous start. Nobody wants to go into a game 2-0 down within 5 minutes. But United could have easily lost their heads. It's a good test of character to show the resolve that they had. They didn't go off the game plan, and I think they've improved massively over the last 2 games. And they built their way back into the game and thoroughly deserved to be 3-2 up by about 70 minutes. The weird thing for me was, you've done all the hard work, put Forest on the back foot. It's a system that's working. They go down to 10 men. I don't understand why on earth you don't carry on doing what you've just done for the last 70 minutes and put us through the ringer, because it didn't need to be that way. But it was a really good performance. There was a lot of, I thought the shapes were brilliant between Antony, Bruno and Wan-Bissaka down the right side. Great to see Rashford down the left, and he, whilst wasn't productive by scoring a goal, got a couple of assists. The free kick was a brilliant move as well. So there was loads of stuff to be positive about. If you're going to concede 2 goals, you do it in the first 5 minutes, and we came back in the right way. We should have scored more, I thought, towards the end of the game.
Yeah, we should have. And I want to talk about that front 2 in particular, the Rashford and Antony, because I thought, quite rightly, they've both had a lot of stick in the first couple of games. Rashford, not necessarily poor, but against Tottenham and Wolves, just not involved because of the fact he was playing as number 9. And Antony, I thought, was quite poor in those games. I thought they were both very good today, especially Antony. Like, his work leading up to most of United's chances was excellent, and then Rashford doing what he always does, which is he got an assist for the Eriksen goal. He put the ball into Bruno that cut through their entire defence for the second goal, and then Bruno nods it down, then wins the penalty for the third goal. It's classic Rashford, where you think, he's not done that much today, and then you look and his fingerprints are on every single goal, like massively involved in all of them. And we've sort of come to expect that from Rashford, and I think he's unfortunate maybe not to get a goal as well, even though he didn't have a lot of chances. I just thought the performance felt like the sort of one where he would get a goal. But Antony, I think, is worth focusing on, because rightly so, he's had a lot of stick so far this season, but I thought he was involved in so much today. And like you said, some of the interplay with him and Bruno and Wan-Bissaka down the right-hand side, and not just that, not just the sort of pretty stuff, but going on his right foot, pulling the ball across. There's one to Bruno in particular where Bruno almost scored. And I thought he was excellent today, Antony. I genuinely think he was very good. Do you agree with me? Because I know you've not been his biggest fan so far this season.
Yeah, certainly. And I in the build-up, I was really critical and said that he needs to start pulling out performances where we can say that he's had a good game, and today certainly did what we asked for. It was missing everything but a goal. He did his thing about 70 minutes in, where left foot bent it in, and the goalkeeper pulled off a really good save for it. But the link-up play, there was a definite directive today that I've not seen over the last 2 games from Ten Hag, and he mentioned it in his presser earlier on in the week, that the players haven't been listening to what he's been asking them to do.
Yeah.
But you could see, and I really enjoyed the switching as well when Antony went over to the left-hand side and Rashford went over to the right. That was really good to see. But yeah, it's really positive. It was so easy for United just to go 2-0 down today and lose their heads. Given the last two performances. So easy for that to happen.
And Antony as well made more chances than anyone. 4 chances, which I think a chance is, giving the ball to someone and then them having a shot from it. So he got more sort of shots out of his teammates than anyone else. 4. And also he had made the most passes of any of the front 3 and the most attacking third passes of any of the front 3 as well. So of that, attacking unit, he was by far the most involved. He was good today, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was really impressed. I've been critical of him in the past. Probably one of his better games for United.
Yeah.
I think as well, he just seemed to be, especially the first half, everything was going through him.
Yeah.
And some of his crosses were pretty decent. I mean, that shot as well, their keeper was Turner made. That looked like it was heading for the top corner.
Yeah.
It was a really good shot. But all in all, I think his attitude was good. He was, he never really gave up on anything. He's running around. He's passing the ball around, like you said, with Wan-Bissaka and stuff.
Yeah.
I just really thought he was excellent. I'd probably give him man of the match, to be honest. He'll probably get given to Rashford because of his input for our goals. But yeah, I thought Antony was tremendous today.
Yeah, I thought he was very good. And Bruno Fernandes, another one where you see his sort of prints on certainly the second 2 goals, and some great passing again today. But that the move, the free kick for the second goal. So we'll go back to the first goal actually, because that was first half. We've kind of looked at it, but let's look at it again now in the review. It was a shot. Was it Bruno's shot? I can't remember. I keep forgetting who the shot was.
It's either Bruno Casemiro's shot that came out.
The goalkeeper palms away, and then Martial plays it out to Rashford. Rashford with the sort of play that not just have we missed from him as a number 9, but we've missed from that left-hand side entirely when he's not been playing there. A bit of a dummy, knocks it past his man, outside of his man, smacks it across, and then you see Eriksen flick it in. It was almost kind of the mirror of the chance that we spoke about before that Antony made for Bruno, wasn't it? But the ball didn't end up in the back of the net. But it was excellent from Rashford. And then in the second half, we saw that from Bruno Fernandes. Free kick to Rashford. He allows the men to get drawn towards him. Bruno plays a brilliant run in behind. And the clip ball over the top that we've now seen 4 times in the last 2 games make fantastic chances for United. We saw the same ball that I think was a Rabona from Bruno, wasn't it, to Rashford. It may have been offside, but cut through Tottenham and we missed. Casemiro, the same ball to the back post, cut through Tottenham and we missed. Bruno got the same ball against Tottenham and we missed. We saw it today. It was Rashford playing it into Bruno, nodded across to Casemiro, and we scored the goal. But firstly, it's great to see Bruno in those areas getting assists. But secondly, one of my big worries after the Wolves game was, why don't we look like we have patterns of play? Why don't we look like we know how to create chances? Well, that's 4 times in the last 2 games that we've made big chances from that exact move, playing the ball into the sort of half space on the left, balls over to the back post, and we've had chance after chance with it. It's good seeing that these repeatable ways of making chances, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think like on the set pieces, you look, we had a few today, and I don't think we shot on goal once with it. Even that one towards the end where Bruno was at the edge of the box. I just expected him to have a go, but he played it to Dallo. I know Dallo was on his heels a bit, but yeah, we seem to be trying new things out, and I'm liking it because everyone just expects us to shoot.
Yeah. And it's whether we're trying new things out or they are actually paying attention to the instructions that they're getting off Ten Hag, because like I said, he was really critical during the week. And another promising thing is if you've got Rashford out on the left, if we're getting that sort of performance off Antony, and it seems to be all clicking. If we are now going into the Arsenal game, we are actually going to have a number 9, because we've got to look at the goods and the bads. We might as well be playing without a striker today, in all honesty. Yeah, because and we still scored 3 goals.
Well, let's just have a look at the touches. I know Martial came off quite early, so he's never going to have the most touches. But if I can just find the stats, so let's go with passes instead, because I'm struggling to find touches. Martial, other than the subs, he had 14 passes. That was less than Onana, less than Lindelof, who came on at half time, less than Rashford, Antony, Eriksen. I mean, United's highest pass maker was Lisandro Martinez, who made 76 passes. Martial made 13. And it's not, the problem is with him at the minute, it's not as though that's turning into shots, because he only had 1 shot. So it's not, you see Haaland and every 13 touch or every 20 touches or whatever it is, he gets a goal. Martial looking rusty. And to be fair, it was his first start in...
It was a big ask,
2-3 months,
yeah.
And I know obviously he couldn't have started that many, but he missed all of pre-season. So it's good to have him back and good to have a striker back, but not his best game at all today, really, was it?
No, not at all. And he was there because of a lack of options. Let's have it right.
Yeah.
If Højlund is fit, then I think he starts that game. And like I said, if with everything around him now seemingly falling into shape with patterns of play, it is really promising when we do get an out-and-out striker who you think will be a lot more fitter and sharper than Martial.
Yeah, two other players that I thought deserve a bit of credit. One is Casemiro, who I actually thought had a good game again today. I say again from last season because he's not been great so far and he's had loads of stick in the last couple of weeks. But we didn't see as much of that, them sort of playing straight through our midfield that we saw certainly against Wolves, did we? There was a little bit of, we saw the counter-attack, but that was from a corner, not like these massive sort of channels opening up in the midfield.
Yeah, we said it before the game with it's like the old guard, isn't it? Really, it's a proven free that in that midfield, and yet again today it worked. And you talk about Casemiro, was Eriksen the other one that you wanted to talk about, because I thought he had a really good game as well.
It wasn't actually, but let's talk about Eriksen because I thought he was very good.
It was everything that, and this isn't a dig at Mason Mount, but it was everything that Mason Mount hasn't been in the last couple of games for United. Really composed head, knew what he was supposed to be doing, how the other players played. And I don't know how long Mount's out for, but I'd expect Eriksen to start again against Arsenal. I think Mount will probably miss that game as well, won't he? But I think he would. I think he would anyway, based on that performance.
Yeah,
just more controlled.
Yeah, it was good. The other player I wanted to talk about was Diogo Dalot, because playing at left back, I thought he was good today. I didn't see him get exposed defensively too much, and just sort of looking through the stats here, he sort of appears on everything. He made the third most passes. He made the third most attacking third passes. He also made the most ball recoveries with 12, 4 more than anyone else. So he's getting the ball back from the opposition more than anyone, and he's playing out of position on the left-hand side, the most interceptions of anyone as well, or no one made more than him, should I say. Most clearances for United. It was a good performance from him, both ends of the pitch. He wasn't, hugely influential. He wasn't making chance after chance, but to sort of come in, get drafted in as this third choice left back, I thought he had a good game today. He played well, didn't he?
No, he did, and obviously we were talking about him beforehand. Would he be able to do the job? Yeah, I thought he was excellent again. I thought both fullbacks really were great. We didn't seem to have any issues. I think the centre backs were probably the issue because the speed of their striker, but fullbacks did won most balls, and going forward as well, he looked pretty good. Just that one thing you can be critical is that free kick where obviously he wasn't prepared for it, but that we're already 3-2 up at that. We're already up at that point. But you'd say that the Arsenal game, you'd play him in it if no one else is available. You wouldn't have any issue playing him now, would you?
No, I think he will play. We've got a few super chats. Akash says, good result, up the Paddock, love United, hate Glazer. Jed's dead, baby, says, after giving up the cigarettes on Thursday, this game nearly made me take them back up again. It nearly made me take them up, and I don't even smoke. So good luck with the giving up of cigarettes. And if you can get through that, you can get through anything. We've got a quote from Bruno Fernandes as well. He's saying, we know what it means to be a United player. We know that this shirt is very demanding and we're ready to wear it. The team showed passion and desire. Martian, off the back of that, says, Captain Bruno, who the F is Micah Richards? And then Jav says, if we keep this up, we'll be lucky to get top 4. There is obviously an element of that, and we need to talk about that. And it's been nice to be able to be a bit more positive because, I do think for 85% of that game, United were anywhere between the better team and very good. But there is still these things that, like I said at half-time, these sort of fluke. The Bolly goal was a fluke. I'm not having anyone say that it wasn't. The situation that led to the first goal was poor from United, and we keep having these moments that should be one-offs or every so oftens. They're happening every week, aren't they? Which is slightly concerning, isn't it?
Yeah, with sort of silly mistakes or judgments in error, like should Wan-Bissaka be where he is when he's trying to head the ball when it comes out for the first goal, and should it be Rashford that's chasing the attacker back? And I thought, to be honest, I thought Onana should have done better after seeing the replay on it. But yeah, you do need to tighten up. But I'm going to put focus on the positives because you do get the freakish incidents where you do get these goals. And we were talking at the beginning about how progress is never linear. Well, let's try and look at this season as in linear. We weren't good against Wolves at all, won. We were good for 30 minutes against Spurs and lost.
Yeah.
We were good for 85% today and won after coming 2-0 down. So if that isn't progression, if that's not an indication that we are running in the right direction, then I don't know what is, and that comes from a cynical sod like me.
Good. Very good to hear. Abhinav Verma says, are the Paddock lads sitting in protest in the stadium? I don't know. Only because I've not spoken to them. I don't know. We've just been doing this, so I'm not entirely sure, but the protest is going on. We've also got a stat here. With 31 games unbeaten at home in all competitions, Erik ten Hag breaks his personal record set with Utrecht and Ajax. Do we know if that was 2 separate records with Utrecht and Ajax of 30, or was it across the end of his time at Utrecht and the start of his time at Ajax? We don't know. However, it's broken his personal record one way at t'other, and that's all we need to know, I suppose. Someone said Keown is a bellend. Interesting. Fabi Wan says it's quite normal for a number 9 to have matches with few touches and passes. First game back. Hope the next one is better. Yeah, I hope the next one's better as well. I agree with you on that. Sheikh says, on the bright side, going 2 down early has woken up our players since the start of the season. If we beat Arsenal after their result, the first 2 game performances become irrelevant. Love from India. Thank you very much. We've put ourselves in a position where we're a point behind Arsenal going into that game. Personally, I know this might sound negative, I would probably take a point from that game. I think, a draw away against one of the top teams is always a decent result. But we're in a position where if we were to beat them, we go ahead of them. And that's the thing with early season, isn't it?
Yeah.
It feels like whatever the last result was, that's how the whole season's going to be. It flops back and forth. Like you said before, Dave, if 10 games in we're still worrying, that's when you start to get a sense of the season.
That's the issue. I mean, we haven't played well the previous 2 games.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can't remember that we won. I thought it was a draw. But so we got like 6 points now, but it's only 3 games in. You know, anything could happen. Like I said, we got a brand new keeper who's only played a couple of games pre-season, getting used to the team. But even though I think he's done well, I won't worry about it this early. Especially now we've got 2 wins under our belt. Obviously, it went great last week against Spurs, but we played 20 minutes or so pretty decent in that game.
Yeah.
And like you said about the mistakes repeating themselves, I wouldn't really worry about it now. We've got 3 points. I hope he wouldn't go, well, by the way, let's focus on this, because let's just put that behind us and hopefully not do it next game and just keep the momentum going.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, looking ahead to the Arsenal game, I think we've got 8 days now. I think we're not too sure what the Varane injury is, because obviously
that's
he
a
went
good part. I was trying to find before, but I couldn't see
half time for Lindelof, because I'd be fearful if Varane isn't fit.
Yeah.
And then Delo, while he's had a good game today, doesn't fill me with the most confidence going up against an Arsenal striking lineup. But we're going to be, hopefully it'll be good. Haaland's going to make his debut, hopefully, against Arsenal. It's what that could mean later on in the season, isn't it? It's never about the here and now, and this is why I was getting frustrated about stuff like not so much the Wolves result, but the Spurs result. It's what it means later down the line, because if you look at the Brentford and Brighton games last season, if we had them 6 points when it comes towards January, we would have been so close to City and probably above Arsenal. It's different conversations that we're having. So if we are to get 3 points against Arsenal away from home, and the next time we play them is at home and it's later in the season, it's it all sort of pans out that way. But I don't know. I take a point, but for here and now, we were 2-0 down with 5 minutes gone, and we won 3-2. And it was a good performance to large parts.
Yeah, it was. It was a good performance, and certainly a better performance than the one we saw at Wolves. Certainly better than the one we saw overall against Tottenham. Steps in the right direction, a result in the right direction, and maybe, hopefully, those first 2 goals that Forest scored will be a bit of a final slap in the face that United have needed to wake them up, because for too long this season it's been sluggish and groggy and back foot football. I thought United looked really good after that, so I'm going to take the positives. We were slightly negative before the game, I think rightly so. Now we can be slightly positive, so let's enjoy it. That's going to be all from us. Thank you, Dave and Dave, for coming on. Make sure you check out Scotty and Motty. Make sure you check out, what would you like to plug, Dave?
Nothing.
Scotty and
Don't plug
Motty.
anything. Yeah, make sure you check out Scotty and Motty for other Dave as well. Thank you for joining us. Manchester United seal the comeback win with a 3-2 win against Nottingham Forest. Goals from Casemiro, goals from Christian Eriksen, and goals as well from Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2. We'll see you in a bit.